27-point victory, including keeping the home side down to just 67 points. Nerily Meadows with you, Andrew Gaze, Damon Lowry, and of course, Tassie's coach, Scott Roth, joins us as well. That was a comprehensive team performance. What impressed you the most?
Well, the thing that's impressed me the most is, this has been kind of a choppy season for us in a very competitive league. And I'm just super proud of this franchise. It's 3 winning seasons in a row. I think that's probably a milestone for expansion teams coming in to do something like that. And not only that, to be in the Final Four again in our 3rd year and finishing in the top 4 has been fantastic. And I love our guys. I love the way we compete. They play the right way, and they're a joy to watch.
And Scott, you look at the Milton Doyle's on the screen there. I think, what do you have, 2 points today, 4 points, something like that. But he never looks stressed. There's no anxiety. There's no panic. Is that something that you've had to build with him, or is that just his personality? Because it's a fantastic trait to have.
Well, he's a silent assassin, but really we've been trying to get more out of him in a leadership role. And this last month, he's really been our best player in practice, our best leader in practice, quite verbal in our huddles. He's silent, but they listen to him, and he's really stepping into a great role and unselfish like all of our guys, and a fantastic human being.
Scott, can you please define the Jackie way in a sentence?
Grit and grind.
That's not a sentence.
Grit and grind, humble and hungry. We defend the island.
Well, what you are, though, is particularly on the offensive end, as we can sit back and enjoy some of these highlights, the execution. Now, admittedly, they had a lot of guys missing, but you've really got that balance between what you're doing early in transition. You score more from three-point line than any other team in the competition, but it's precision in the half court as well.
I think the big thing we've been stressing in the last month is being great at the 10 to 12 second range, where a lot of teams, I think, falter, where they take an early shot or an unpredictable shot, or they're just tired and they don't want to go for the next pick and roll or the next side of the play. And we're trying to be great in that 10 to 12 second range and get in the back end of the clocks more and really put a lot of pressure on teams. And our spacing and our unselfishness has been fantastic.
We saw there in the Hungry Jacks highlights Mike Kelly getting ejected. I'm fascinated as an opposition coach. When that happens, do you have a smile? Do you get frustrated? What goes through your mind?
Listen, I'm a very pro coach in this league. I love all the coaches in here. This is a difficult job. He's a young coach still, and he's been dealt, a tough cards this year with a lot of injuries. And when you're down that much, I just feel for him on that end. It's a shame, but you just got to move on. But I feel for him.
I do love it. It's a class human being right there, isn't it?
Very humble, and I get that. Now, Scott, you got a team that's no individual egos. Even though they all back themselves as players, you've managed to somehow convince them of the team ego. How did you go about doing that?
Well, I think our internal values, which we don't share with really anyone except our guys, and the best teams I've ever played on, I'll go back to my days at the Utah Jazz. John Stockton and Karl Malone ran the team. The coach was on the outside, on the guardrails, but the best players run your team. And if the best players are all in, and the values that you keep are there every single day with our guys. We talk about them every single day, about our culture. They're driving it. I'm just on the guardrails, and I'm very, very, very happy with this group and what we've gone through this year.
And the other thing that really sticks out is the body language. Now, it's easy when, like you say, the last few years have been winning games, but it's not always the case. But the captain of my all-body language team, Jack McVeigh, he always seems like he plays with a smile on his face, and the reward that he's getting this year, you got some stars with Crawford and Doyle, but he has been probably the most consistent player for you all season.
Yeah, he's continued to grow in that role. And like I said, when I signed him, I said, listen, you're not going to play the 3 anymore. You're going to be our Jesse Wagstaff. And the next goal is, once you start to play well, is win championships like Jesse has. And he's fallen in love with this team and our state and the people there. And he just continues to get better. And he's happy Jack. He's that way all the time. And he's contagious to all of our group, and love him to death.
As we let you go, can you go all the way? Is this the team that can win the whole thing?
We'll worry about Monday when we get back home. And we have a heck of a game coming up against Perth, but more importantly, we have a great cause in the Teal game to represent the C Foundation and Scott Harris and his family. Last year at this time I was hugging Joe Harris. She's not with us anymore, and so that game is going to be bigger than basketball, and we'll be ready.
Beautifully spoken. Thank you so much,
you.
Scott Roth, for your time tonight.